This is Ken Pyle. We're at the Metaswitch forum. We're at the booth here for their NFV and SDN solutions. We're with Andy Randall. Andy, why don't you tell us briefly what NFV and SDN is and how operators could really use this to change their network?
Yeah, Ken. So I think we have a vision at Metaswitch about kind of where the network is moving to, and I think if you look at the trends in hardware, you're going to get commodity compute platforms, commodity storage platforms, and commodity switching platforms, and all the intelligence and all the value is moving into software in the cloud. So we're about enabling that, in particular in my business unit, and what we're showing here are applications enabling that at the networking layer. So in terms of enabling commodity switching hardware to do more complex routing tasks within the network, in terms of enabling a virtual networking layer within NFV. Those are the kind of projects that we're focused on right now.
A lot of work has been done by some of the larger operators. They're looking at kind of massive scale, but it seems to me, and what you just spoke of, that cloud can actually be kind of a little mini Cumulus cloud that resides in the service provider's CO, for instance, or data center, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think you can think of cloud as a huge hyperscale data center, but equally, a single server sitting in a rack somewhere, it's still a move to a software-based telco, and it introduces agility, flexibility, programmability into the network. And that's what, a big part of our message to our customers at the forum this week has been that, that's what they have to do. That's the transition they are going to have to make over the next few years, not overnight, but ultimately that's how value is going to be created in networks.
Well, and you're right. I mean, it's still early in the SDN game. In fact, a colleague wrote an article, and my acronym after reading his article is "It still don't know." I mean, it seems like there's a lot of questions of, there's a lot of openness, but what does that mean, right? For instance, on the SDN.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's questions of what is open source, what are open hardware designs, open APIs. These are all different aspects of openness and programmability, and I think we're going to see all of those in various combinations. And really, our message is it's about both a long-term vision, but also defining some very concrete, specific kind of baby steps, if you like, to get to the first rung of the ladder, to introduce the first applications, and start to make that progress, progressive move towards an ultimate vision, but not try and implement some overarching ultimate vision overnight. Because you're right, SDN is not ready yet. There's still a lot of things that we're working out. What are the right architectures?
And it seems like, as we talked about the whole idea of maybe starting with just rerouting some of your traffic through SDN configured server, right?
Yeah, exactly. So one of those initial first applications that we're talking about is what we call intelligent aggregation. So it's using a commodity layer 2 switch, essentially, with an open flow interface to our controller. And then we can program down some intelligence, we can hook into the IP network and allow that to offload traffic from the much more expensive PE router ports. Particularly, this is applicable where providers have local CDNs, so they've got content delivery network delivering video traffic, large volumes of this video traffic that's going east-west within their networks right now. You can pull that closer to the customer on these commodity 10 gig ports and dramatically decrease the cost, both CapEx and OpEx in the network, and start to get towards a more flexible kind of view of where the network goes.
And it seems like, you just mentioned video, but, at the cable show recently, it seemed like that was a big trend, this whole idea of taking the transcoders and so forth and putting those onto commodity hardware as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just another application that is moving into the cloud. And the other thing that's happening at the same time is it's moving closer to the edge. So it used to be, all the big content providers had very centralized hyperscale data centers. You've seen the pictures of these huge locations, and now they're moving more and more of that traffic, more and more of that content, because it's just a software application. It can sit in a rack in any carrier's network. So they're doing that, and that leads to the need for this kind of smart aggregation technology.
Well, it seems like you've hit the market at a good time. It's early in its stage, and wish you luck with it, Andy.
Yeah, thank you, Ken. We're really excited about it. It's a new departure for Metaswitch, but we've had some fantastic feedback and really good response from the customers at the show this week.
Excellent. Well, thank you.
Thanks, Ken.